Hello guys, here I am again, Sir June, and welcome to our Math Aralan. Today I will be discussing assessment, but I will be focusing only on summative assessment using multiple choice test. Multiple choice test is the most widely used by teachers, especially during quarterly assessment. Seldom that we can see matching type, essay, enumeration, etc. because they are commonly used as formative assessment. Before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Assessment is a process of tracking students' progress in relation to standards such as content and performance standards. These standards are found in our curriculum guide. Make sure that as teacher, you have your own copies of curriculum guide. When used in classroom, assessment is an ongoing process of identifying, gathering, organizing, and interpreting information about what the learners know or the content standard and can do or the performance standard. There are two types of assessment used in classroom, formative and summative. Formative assessment is done before, during, and after the lesson. It can be recorded but not graded. It is used to measure whether the students have able to master or learn the learning competency. On the other hand, summative test is used to measure whether the students have able to meet the content and performance standards. This is used as basis for computing the grades. One of the assessments you can prepare is the paper and pencil test such as multiple choice test. In writing a test, you have to remember of course that it's not only necessary that you only knew the subject matter but you have mastered it. You have to ask yourself also the question, what am I testing? Do you want to test your students' ability in remembering facts, how they can analyze a certain situation, or you want to know if they can evaluate a given information? You need to remember also that multiple choice tests are works in progress. It means, as a teacher, you have to reassess your test every now and then to ensure that they are effective and rework faulty questions as well as questions that are too easy and too difficult. That is why we are conducting item analysis to determine if there is a need to change a certain test item. By conducting item analysis, your test items become standardized as the years go by, meaning it could be administered to whatever group of students. And finally, before writing test questions, you have to prepare first a table of specifications. There is a table of specification that specifies the difficulty level of test questions such as easy 70%, average 20%, and difficult 10%. The six levels of cognitive behavior are divided into levels of difficulty as creating is under difficult level. Today, some references and other universities do not follow it anymore. Instead, sixth level of cognitive behavior depends on the learning competency. If the competency calls for recalling, then be it. If there are no competencies that require students to create, then there will be no creating questions. The idea is that how will you test students' ability in creating if they are not taught of doing it? Both styles of table of specifications have pros and cons, but at the end of the day, it depends on the school heads if which of the two styles they will allow their teachers to use or follow. Okay, let us talk multiple choice test. We can find a variety of multiple choice items such as single correct answer, best answer like which of the following best describe, negative like which is not included in a group, multiple response, and combined response. The multiple choice tests is consists of two parts. The first part is the stem or the problem. This could be in the form of a question or a problem or an incomplete statement at the beginning of each item. The second part is the alternatives or list of options. It contains one correct option and a number of incorrect options. Make sure that when the students read the test, they should know exactly what the problem is and what he is expected to do to solve it. The question cannot be ambiguous. It should be written with clarity. The examinee has to know exactly what is being asked. Remember that you are not assessing students' ability to infer a description of the problem, but its ability to answer the objective of the item. Here are some tips in writing multiple choice tests. First, make the incorrect answers believable so that you are able to test the ability of your students to remember the information and apply it to the problem. This is the only true way to gauge if a learner fully understands the concept. Next, include charts or graphs in your test, which will force them or your students to use their analyzing skills. By having them interpret the data, they will be tested on whether or not they have really absorbed the information. Write stories or examples that the learner must read before answering corresponding multiple choice questions. This will not only test their understanding ability, but their analyzing skills as well. In my next video, I will be discussing math story, a strategy in presenting your lesson not only in mathematics but applicable also in other subjects. Remembering or applying abilities of the students are being exercised if you create a story or example. Questions under multi-level thinking include the most appropriate or most important. It will test the students' judgment skills or understanding of an in-depth subject. There are 5 styles in writing multiple choice tests. I will be using mathematics for my examples. The first style is the STEM asks a question that is looking for a correct response. Here is the example. In the second style, the STEM is presented as an incomplete sentence. Look at this example. The mathematical sentence below can be translated into a verbal phrase as blank. For the next style, the STEM asks a directed question that is looking for either one correct or one false statement. I have 2 examples in this style. In this example, the students are asked which is not included in the group. This is the negative type of question. While in this example, the students are asked to choose the best answer. Another style is more than one sentence is often needed to present the information required to answer the question or solve a problem. The example is on the next slide. The last type of question is identifying which of the available statements are correct and then select response that contains the statements. Look at the example shown on the next slide. Whatever type or style of question you are using, always remember that the test question should jibe with the competency you are testing. To ensure that your test jibes with the competency, ask the assistance of your school head or master teacher or seasoned teachers in your school. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you find this video beneficial to you as a classroom teacher. Please subscribe po to my channel to get updated of my incoming videos. Thank you.